Hey guys, how's it going? Shimbob here, and first off, I just wanted to apologize for the lack of Titanfall 2 content that's been on the channel lately. There's just been so much happening and so much exciting things happening in the world of shooters lately that's kind of distracted me a bit. But anyway, back to the video I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to introduce the first of my map guides mini-series for Frontier Defense. The first of which is today's one on Forward Base Kodai, the one that I've definitely played the most, not necessarily by choice, just that's how randomness works. I was going to do a Titan-specific guide series, but there are a few other YouTubers out there that are doing that already, so I thought why double up on content just for the sake of views, when you can all just head over and check out their video for that information. I'm sure you've already done so, but if not, go and check out Iniquity's guide, as well as Butterbar, who's started doing Titan-specific guides for Frontier Defense as well. The links and all that are down in the description. Anyway, back to my video at hand. The way these guides will work will just be more of my findings and tips around things like enemy spawn locations, optimal turret and arc trap locations, as well as the best suited Titans and other general tips. So, Forward Base Kodai. It's definitely one of the more spread out maps that we have in the game, but it's still got the basic 3 main lanes that the enemy will funnel into. They're just a bit wider than other maps, making things a little more tricky at times. So with that in mind, here are the 3 main spawn points that you want to worry about on this map. Here, here, and here. I find the 2 on the sides to be the main ones, and particularly the one on the right tends to give teams I've been in a harder time. I think it might be due to either the types of enemies that spawn over there or just the shape of the terrain. The enemies have that big building where C-Flag is on hardpoint, and also these extra sort of big rocks to maneuver around. Not a lot of difference between the 3 lanes really, but perhaps it could just be best to put your best Slayer on the right hand side if you had to choose. So knowing where the spawns are leads right into where we want to be prioritizing our arc traps for incoming Titans. I recommend putting your traps right up where the enemies will be spawning, that way they run into them as soon as they get moving, and if you kill them quickly enough, then they don't really have enough time to get close to your harvester at all. Now arc traps are all well and good, but to be honest, I'd try and prioritize your money for buying turrets. Try and get 2 turrets per person as soon as possible. I'm sure you already know this, but I just want to reiterate it. Every map, this should be your main priority. Now as for where to place them, I'm sure I don't have the perfect spots by any means, however the places that usually work best for me are back near the harvester, just on top of that little wall thing, as well as those pillars nearby. Back here they can just sort of catch scraps of anything that sneaks through, as well as being reasonably protected from enemy fire so they don't go down too often, and then when they do go down, at least they'll be nice and close so that a teammate or yourself can quickly duck back and get them up all in one go. Now for the fun bit, let's talk Titans. For me personally, having one solid tank like a Scorch or a Legion to sit back and do as much damage as possible from far, as well as mop up any adds that get through, is a really big advantage on this map. For me it's got to be Scorch, but having Legion as a main damage dealer down one of the lanes, that's a good idea too, and a good choice if you want both Scorch and Legion. Scorch is also really good for getting up on the middle section of the map where it's easier to predict the trajectory of his projectiles when you're shooting down on enemies, and that way you can sort of just lather the floor with fire from up high. If you have a good Ronin or you are one yourself, then I recommend chucking on Highlander and using it to destroy as many Titans as you can with your Sword Core. This is more in the later rounds like 4 and 5, but otherwise Northstar and Tone are good choices for long range damage dealing. Ion would be a lower tier pick for me on this map due to its size, as well as her just being like a lower tier pick for me on basically every map. And Monarch can be a good 4th too if you have an extra spot to fill. She has some pretty good long range damage, good sustain, stays alive a long time. She can heal if you want. Not that I recommend doing that, I recommend speccing her for damage specifically. So with that being said, what you want to do is try and get on top of the Titans spawning, particularly from rounds 3 onwards. Try and push out a bit more with your damage dealers and bring them down before they can start getting within striking distance of the harvester. But maybe leave your Scorch or Legion back to take pot shots from a distance, and sort of light up the floor if anything sneaks through, like little minions or Reapers or anything like that. Also just be aware of the Scorches that drop in on, I think mostly the right hand side. They can do some serious damage if they get close enough. They can kill you, they can kill the harvester very quickly, so don't allow them to get too close to the harvester. That's sort of the reason why I suggested prioritizing the right hand lane with your best damage dealer, or multiple Titans. And that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. Let me know down in the comments what your tips are so that anyone else who comes and watches this video sort of has a place of reference with a bunch of great tips from everyone. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. It's really appreciated. Even subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, just keep doing what you're doing. Cheers.